Oh, oh, a little tickly throat straight away. Hi guys, I hope you're all well. How are you? Happy Thursday? Is it Thursday? I feel like this week's been a billion days long. I'm so tired. I'm doing about 4 recordings a day of different stuff at the moment, and by this point in the day, my brain is just going, "Her." So I'm sorry you missed yesterday. Excuse me. Oh, frog in my throat. I had every intention of writing us a chapter yesterday, and then I had a radio record sprung on me for today that I hadn't written anything for, so I was trying to write for that yesterday. And then I also did a new material night last night, so I was like trying to bully the jokes that I vaguely been boiling into actual sayable material, and nothing makes me more stressed than new stand-up. I love doing stand-up so much. It's like 100% my favorite thing in the world. But doing new stand-up, oh Lord, it just makes me feel icky. Rowan, breaking the news. It is on BBC Radio Scotland, and I don't know when it goes out, but we recorded it today. So that was a sort of big record, sort of like, I felt really tacky, but I was like leafing through all the stuff that I wrote for Mock the Week that didn't make the edit, and being like, what can I recycle to be into this topical news story show? Because the headlines are still coronavirus and Brexit, as they will be forever. So yes, there you go. Is it Taskmaster finale tonight? I'm in love with Daisy Cooper. 1:30 Friday. Mystic, you're good. I should get you as a PA. Will you please run my diary for me? And then I had to do a corporate Christmas Zoom party for a company tonight, which was quite good fun, actually. The boss kept chipping in, and I got to sort of destroy him, which for you guys, I suppose, because this is so nice. Like when I do stand-up, especially when I'm comparing, I really take no prisoners when people annoy me. And you think me calling you stinkers is a problem. Look out. And the boss just kept joining in with jokes. So I sort of tore him a new one, which was quite fun. But now my head is throbbing. I don't think I've had enough water today. Recommendation. One book recommendation. I'm really enjoying the book I Am Legend. You've probably all read it because you're all clever, but I'd never read it before. Didn't know anything about it. Never seen the film, but reading it anyway, and it's very good. And if you haven't watched Jingle Jangle on Netflix, it's one of the new Christmas ones. What a banging soundtrack. If you liked Greatest Showman, watch this. It's got that similar, it's better music, I think is fair to say, but it's got that sort of showbizy, glitzy, glamoury musical but film. Really fun. Mystic says way better than the film I Am Legend. I've never watched the film. I don't really like scary films, but I can cope with books of scary things. I think a film of it would creep me out a little bit, but the book is really fun. I really like the way it's written. It's very simple and straightforward, but a lot of fun. I also just finished Jenny Colgan's Christmas at the Cupcake Cafe, and I had a really great time with that too. So if you want some Christmassy, escapism-y, a woman owns a bakery, that kind of a thing, go for that. They don't end the same. I'll leave it there. Ooh, okay. Yes, I'm excited. Hello, Victoria. Oh, there's a Victoria popping up in the comments. Victoria is an excellent stand-up comedian who I have had the pleasure of helping with some material over the last year. It's a year, isn't it, babe? It's our anniversary. Jingle Jangle it's really fun. I was sort of watching it half asleep last night and like, oh my God, how many plots are there? And I don't know who's who. And also features bonus Ricky Martin. It's got a hell of a cast, and probably one of the best child singers and actors I've seen in years. You know how children singing is usually dreadful and annoying. An amazing song by a child actor. So Jingle Jangle for some schmaltzy escapism, highly recommended. So with the chapter, we are heading for a slight problem in that we're just not going to finish Kate's story by tomorrow. And I need some time to write this. So I think what we're going to do is we'll do a chapter tomorrow night, and then let's just put Kate's story on pause for a bit, because I feel like she needs more time. If we just wander off from her now, I don't know if we're done, if you know what I mean. So I feel like we'll do a chapter tomorrow and we'll get the story to a sort of fun place. And then maybe for the next book club, we'll come back and we will pick this story up, because I just don't feel like she's been on enough of an adventure yet. I could get her hit by a bus, which is just a surprise ending to the book. So, oh, which restaurant do you want? And what's she wearing when she dies? Yeah, we could do that. We could have her abducted by aliens and then she goes up into space. The next one could be a sci-fi. Oh, there's another book recommendation. The book's by Becky Chambers. The first one is called The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet or something like that. Really good. And if you have any interest in it's really interesting to me that there's characters in that don't identify with their bodies, and it draws real parallels with like gender dysphoria and body dysphoria, and I found that very interesting. Really good for getting your head around it if you're somebody that, like, you know, I don't always feel like a girl, but I've definitely never felt so unlike a girl that I wanted to be out of my body. Then that, like, and you're just comfortable with the connection between your body and who you are. This book was really interesting for understanding how you can feel disconnected from your body. It was really good, and it's just some fun sci-fi. If you like books that are more about world building than like, oh no, and the plot's gone disastrous, like, you know, do you ever sort of sometimes wish there was like a Harry Potter book where nothing went wrong for a year and you just learned about the castle and stuff? I find Becky Chambers books a bit like that. Right, so we should do today's chapter, find out, oh, that's an invoice. You don't want me to read my invoice to you? No, chapter 20 of Kate's story. So we left them in Amsterdam, writing on napkins and deciding what they were going to do to change their futures. So chapter 20, here we go. By the time their plane touched down again in the UK, both Kate and Polly were feeling serene and relaxed in each other's company. Kate truly felt like the trip had blown the cobwebs out for her, and she felt rejuvenated. A twinging feeling of guilt was making her keep asking if Polly was okay, because she was so aware that the trip was meant to be for Polly's sake. But Polly assured her she was the happiest she'd been in a long time. Polly drove Kate home, and they sat for a moment in silence in the car outside Kate's house. So, Polly began, what you going to do this afternoon? Kate drummed her hands expectantly on her thighs. I'm going to look online for restaurant jobs in the area. Good, Polly nodded. And you? Kate asked. I'm going to tell Ryan that I love him and the kids, and that to me, this is our whole family. But if he still feels the same in 6 months' time, I'm happy to think it over again. Then I'll tell him I love him again. Oh, and I must order new school trousers for the big two. Oh, and it's okay, Kate interrupted. I don't need your entire itinerary, just the Ryan bit. Good luck. She climbed out of the car and went into the house. Ewan was sitting at the kitchen table with a red-headed woman next to him. What was Ewan? Irish, wasn't he? You're back, he called out through a mouthful of sandwich. Hiya, Kate called. Kate, this is Fran, Ewan said amiably, and then looked at his watch before jerking backwards out of his chair. Oh, Franny, we're late. Where are you off to? No, that wasn't Welsh. And wheels. Where are you off to? Kate asked, smiling at Fran, who was flickering a wave at her shyly. We're going to meet Zoe, Fran said shyly. I've just gone Bristolian. We have a date. Kate felt like she would never get her head round the idea of polyamory, but they didn't half make it look companionable and fun. Maybe she'd put that next on her list of things to do after get a job she liked and find one man she wanted to date. Have fun, she called to them as they grabbed coats and keys and headed out the door. She brewed a cup of tea and opened her laptop to look at job websites. There were several agencies looking for staff, but she felt like changing kitchens constantly would be too much. She needed to start small and find somewhere where she could slot in with people who knew what they were doing and work up. There was an Indian restaurant that she'd been to down the road. They were looking for waitressing staff. That seemed like a good start. She scrolled down the information. She'd be able to get there after work at the university. She kept scrolling through the lists to see if there was anything that was a starter job or didn't require several different training courses that she didn't have. A French restaurant in the centre of town was looking for an assistant chef, but the language they used to describe the jobs made Kate feel immediately out of her depth. She kept scrolling. Eventually, an opportunity jumped out at her. It was written in such simple terms that she felt no nerves in picking up the phone to dial immediately. "Hello, the golden hair," said a woman's voice on the other end of the line. "Hi, my name's Kate Wilcox. I'm calling about the ad you placed for the kitchen help." There was a pause before the woman said anything else. "Yep, okay. I should warn you. It really is just a kitchen help we need. Some washing up, some prepping, mostly cleaning and assistance. It's not a chef job. Is that the sort of thing you're looking for?" Wales. Got to remember, how do you do it? "Yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for." No, hang on a minute. Oh, I've lost Welsh completely. And for Wales. "Yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for. There's no front of house, is there?" The woman laughed kindly. "Not a customer relations person? No, I don't blame you. All right, well, can you do..." There was the sound of paper rustling on the other end of the line, and Kate paused with pen and notepad at the ready to make a note of when her interview would be. "Can you do tomorrow?" "Yes, absolutely," said Kate without hesitation. "I should warn you, I don't have experience or anything, so I don't want to waste your time." The woman cut her off. "Don't be silly. We'll soon find out if you're wasting our time when you get here. 6 p.m. sharp, okay?" I'm already regretting this. Why do I do this? I must love you. "Yes," said Kate, relieved she wouldn't have to skip out of her job any earlier than allowed. One of her post-holiday resolutions was to make sure she stopped flaking on her job. She needed to get used to working hard if she was going to have a career instead of just a job. I'm glad you hooted, Carrie-Anne, because this is killing me a little bit on the inside. "Great, see you then." The next day, Kate was a ball of nerves all day. She rehearsed over and over again all the answers to questions she thought she might get. She listed her favourite recipes to herself and any and all examples she could think of times she had been under pressure and succeeded. She muttered to herself all the reasons she thought she sounded good as to why she was looking for this change in career. Finally, the clock dragged its reluctant hands round to the time to leave, and she jumped in her car and headed out to the Golden Hare. It was a large country pub on a single narrow lane, a bit out in the sticks. It had an enormous car park and was bigger than Kate remembered, and she gulped at the thought of how many covers that meant the restaurant had. Never mind, Kate thought to herself, I'll just do the interview, and if it comes off, then I can chop onions and wash dishes, and all will be fine. The familiar, comforting pub smell of fryers and a wood fire hit her as soon as she answered the door. A woman behind the bar looked up at her and smiled. "Kate?" "Yes, hi, I'm Kate." "I'm Anya. Nice to meet you. Let me show you where you can get changed." Changed?" Kate stuttered. "Oh, were you going to wear that?" Kate looked down at what she was wearing. It was the same formal black trousers and simple blouse she had worn to work at the university that day. What was wrong with it? I was. Did you want something more formal?" "More formal? God, no. I thought you'd be in something you don't mind getting grease on. You are here for the trial shift." "Trial shift?" Kate panicked. "Oh my God, I thought it was an interview." Bum, bum, bum! It's a crossover episode. It's Anya's pub. It's a new venture that Anya's taken over the kitchen. This is my backstory that I've invented in my head. It's a new venture for Anya on top of her city centre Bath restaurant. She's also taken over the kitchen of this much-loved country pub. Hooray. So your question is, Kate's accidentally turned up for a trial shift instead of an interview like she thought. Oh no. So here's your question. Choose an ingredient that Kate ends up working with. Bum, bum, bum. Is it potatoes, rhubarb, toffee, or eggs? Can you tell I've been watching a lot of MasterChef in my downtime? What ingredient, it's a mystery box challenge, what ingredient does Kate end up working with? Is it potatoes, rhubarb, toffee, or eggs? Ba-bam! So, oh, Jenny, you've not met Anya before. If you listen to the audience adventure, Anya was a character that nearly killed me trying to do her accent, and for some ridiculous reason, I've reintroduced her. So, so there you go. Uh, is Orion not classed as an ingredient? As in Polly's husband? I don't understand. Anyway, golden hair. Golden hair is what I was thinking, like as in the big rabbit type thing. I'm really enjoying my eyeshadow today. I had fun with that. I was doing Christmas, but anyway, have this conversation on your own, Laura. So those are your choices. Would you like potatoes, rhubarb, toffee, or eggs? Make your decisions. See you tomorrow for the season finale, but not the end of Kate's story, just the Christmas pause, and we'll pick it up again in January after the big adventure. This time next week, in fact, isn't it? It's the 17th today. Yes, this time next week we'll be doing our choose your own adventure. Fun. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Have a lovely day. Take care of yourselves. Bye.